Today, I want to talk about and explain how the Super Bowl may soon be coming to AMC, and why this would be a crazy revenue source generating billions of dollars in profits, and therefore explain why it's actually the hedge funds and the market makers that are bag holding and not AMC retail investors. So stay tuned and let's make some money. And now I'll dive straight in with the key information. So, Alexandra Vargas has tweeted saying AMC shareholders, this message comes straight from the source, as he received an email back from Aron. So he asked Adam saying, I was wondering if it's possible to have the NFL Super Bowl on the big screen at AMC theatres. He said, we shareholders will gladly support this business line. Let me know. Aron replied saying it's not a new idea, but it is indeed a great one. He said he's been trying to get this done for several years, and he said every year we get a little closer to the NFL agreeing with us. So therefore we could have the Super Bowl being shown at AMC right around the corner. And I want to explain why this year is most likely out of all previous years. Back in 2021, you may remember AMC made a deal with UFC, showing a number of UFC fights, including Pryor McGregor. I actually remember making a video about this back in 2021 and how much of a massive success it was for both AMC and for UFC as well. Now that was 2021, and now in 2023 we have a number of artists also showing digital films at AMC. I know it's obviously different from sports, but it's just yet another movement away from direct movies. More and more sports, events and concerts are being shown at AMC, and now is the best time for Super Bowl to cash in on this revenue source and show the Super Bowl directly at AMC, especially when it's just been unveiled how much Taylor Swift has made or will make from the Taylor Swift Eras Tour. So Unusual Wells tweeted saying Taylor Swift will make as much as $4.1 billion from the Eras Tour per WAPO. Now I've seen estimates of $1 billion, $2 billion and now $4 billion being generated from Taylor Swift's Eras Tour. I think this number also includes physical ticket sales as well as digital ticket sales to AMC cinemas, but all in all that's tons and tons of money for Taylor Swift. And don't forget, AMC is also receiving a massive portion separate from this for those digital concert ticket sales. But of course, as expected and as per usual, Fox Business have came in with more FUD about Taylor Swift and why Taylor making a deal directly with AMC was actually a bad thing. They've said Taylor Swift's Eras Tour movie may have missed out on making millions more. They've basically said the big difference between Swift's film and other movies is there's no Hollywood studio involved. Instead, she struck a deal directly with movie theatres. I personally think with NFL and the Super Bowl specifically coming to AMC, it could be a brilliant revenue stream generating hundreds of millions, if not billions, from just one event. Also guys, you can currently get up to 15 free shares worth up to $2,000 each. All you need to do is sign up to Moomoo using the link in the description below and make the required qualifying temporary deposit. Signing up to Moomoo is free, it just requires that temporary deposit, but it's a really great way to help support the channel. You may say, Tom, why would people go to cinemas to watch the Super Bowl when they can watch it for free at home? And I think this article explains why. A former TV boss has said the Super Bowl as a pay-per-view event would generate billions of dollars. Basically saying that millions of Americans would absolutely still watch the Super Bowl if it was pay-per-view. Don't forget, movies are streamed daily for free, but yet millions of Americans and millions of people worldwide still go to the cinema and the theatres every single day. And that can be perfectly explained by the domestic yearly box office, which for the year so far is already at $7.4 billion, beating 2022, 2021 and of course 2020. We are still behind 2017, 2018 and 2019, but we are indeed also 25% ahead of last year. And as Crystal POS has added, he said we just need content and more movies, that's it. And I think showing the NFL or showing the Super Bowl at AMC would be the perfect idea. Now, interestingly, we've got some more thoughts or some more information about how Sam Bankman-Fried is likely to try and snitch in court or specifically to testify. Cryptadmus tweeted saying, "I'm going to guess that Sam Bankman-Fried is going to testify against the advice of his lawyers. Why? Because the outcome of not testifying is a 100% chance he gets sentenced to 100 years in prison. But the outcome of testifying is maybe a 99.9% chance he still goes to prison." Basically saying there's at least a small sliver of hope that if he testifies, he might get away with a significantly smaller punishment. And that's why the level 10 noob added saying, "I think Sam is going to ruin the fun for a fair few people in crypto." He said, "Don't underestimate how vindictive and malicious a spiteful soul can be." And he said, "Just wait for it, Sam Bankman-Fried might have kept some dirty records of his own." If Sam Bankman-Fried is going down, especially if it's 100 years in prison, he's likely to either take down some people alongside him or try and snitch to reduce his sentence. I guess we'll see more as the lawsuit unfolds further and exactly what is brought to light and exactly what charges and how many years Sam would be facing. Alexandra Vargas also tweeted saying, "Brokers offering synthetic shares to short and market makers selling synthetic shares through brokers to maintain a stock price down are the FTD bag holders." He said anyone who buys any of these shares technically owns a real share, and obviously at some point that share will be sold and the brokers and market makers will have to pay for it, saying it's the brokers and the market makers' responsibility to find those FTDs and those IOUs. And when AMC makes its billions in profits from Taylor Swift, from Beyonce, from Lady Gaga, and maybe even from the Super Bowl, these shorts will have to cough up. And it seems maybe the latest of their liquidity grabs may have gone live today with AIRE. AIRE started trading today around $23 per share, but by the day's end had already run over $575. Throughout the day it didn't see too much volume, around 17,000 shares, but that still turned around $400,000 into around 10 million. It's very interesting to see just how much liquidity can be generated from these pump and dump liquidity grab stocks. And it's also interesting to see how desperate whoever pumped this liquidity actually is, doing it in plain view for all to see. And finally, I also wanted to recap on my fast moving momentum news play of the day from earlier, and also update you guys to let you know that I am working on a way to alert you faster. Many of you have said that you love the fast-moving momentum news plays, but the YouTube community section isn't really the best way to alert you guys. It obviously doesn't send out phone alerts, and it's not really that easy to check regularly. Therefore, I'm currently working out and setting up the best way to alert you guys faster, whether it's through X or Twitter or through Discord or through a WhatsApp group or Telegram. I'll have it out in the next few days or maybe the next week. That way I can alert you guys faster and more reliably and give you even more alerts for stocks like today, which was INVO, which at its peak ran 98.6%. You can go back to my YouTube community section and look at the timestamp and you'll see that I called it and I said if INVO breaks this pre-market high at 153, it will run significantly. It didn't have much of a convincing break in the pre-market, so I wouldn't blame you if you didn't take the trade around here, but obviously when the market opened, it really found its legs. I don't know if you can see this text, but I've been keeping a track record over the last week and a half while I've been doing these fast-moving momentum news plays, and that's our second 90% plus runner. We've also had a number of 10 and 20% runners as well, and some days where we had no trades triggered at all. But guys, be sure to let me know what you think down in the comments below. And as always guys, be sure to ding that notification bell, because that way you'll be alerted when I upload a new video. Cheers.